Hi everyone, I'm Shaylin with Reedsy, and today we're going to be talking about writing romance. This video and the next one comes from our Reedsy learning course on writing romance. So this is just a little intro. If you want the full picture, you want to learn everything on the basics of writing a romance novel, you can check out that course. I'll leave a link to it in the description. There are 10 lessons and it basically covers all of the building blocks of writing a romance novel. Today we're going to be talking about what makes a good romance novel and how to basically set up your romance novel. A romance novel is essentially built out of 4 things. 2 love interests, their relationship, and some conflict. Now we're going to be talking about conflict in the next video, so for now let's focus on our 2 main characters. Characters are key in a romance novel. If the reader doesn't care about the characters, they're not going to care about seeing them fall in love with each other. So let's take a look at the love interest, who for the sake of this example is going to be our hero, is going to be a man, but gender doesn't really matter. Change as per your book. There are many romance novels out there that play with gender stereotypes or feature queer couples, so this doesn't really matter, but just for the sake of this example, he's going to be the hero, because that's kind of the standard of most romance novels. It's very common for heroes to fall into kind of a set of tropes, like the aloof bad boy, or the rugged cowboy, or the now grown up boy next door. Now, readers love these tropes, that's why they're able to thrive. However, if your character does fall into one of these tropes, it's really important that he's well developed outside of it, that he's more than just being this trope. But the most important thing is that he has the spark of life that makes him feel like a real human. That's what's going to make him real and relatable, and that's what's going to make the reader root for him to fall in love with the main character. He should be attractive to both the reader and the protagonist, and it's very hard for a cardboard cutout to be attractive. One key to this is giving him a fleshed out backstory. Oftentimes this backstory is tragic, but it doesn't have to be. What the backstory should do is inform his current personality and give him some kind of internal conflict that challenges him and that he has to overcome. This is so that at the end of the novel, he's able to overcome this struggle, complete his personal journey either by overcoming it and finding peace or being redeemed. It's a standard of the genre that romance novels end happy, which means everything has to be resolved, including his personal conflict. So we have to give him a personal conflict in order to resolve it at the end. But what about the heroine, who is oftentimes in romance the main character? Again, for the sake of this example, she's a woman because that's the standard of romance, but it really doesn't matter. It's important that both the hero and the heroine have equal character development. If one gets a lot of character development and the other is kind of a blank slate, the story will feel very imbalanced. Then we care about one character, but we don't care about both, and we need to care about both. This also means both of the characters will need their own internal personal journey. They both need to overcome something in order for them to be together at the end. Again, it feels very imbalanced if only one needs to change and grow, but the other doesn't. Now, one pitfall of romance is the boring female lead, and oftentimes the rationale is that because she's meant to be relatable to the majority of readership who are women, then she should be kind of vague and kind of blank so that the reader can kind of self-insert themselves into the book. However, this doesn't really lead to that because people can relate to almost any character, but they cannot relate to vagueness. A non-specific vague character who doesn't feel like a person isn't someone we can relate to, so it's actually harder to relate to them than if they were very specific and developed, but maybe completely different from the reader. So just like with the hero, give her a backstory and give her something to overcome. A lot of this comes down to creating a dynamic character and having a character arc, which we have a video on, so I will leave a link to that in the card. So that's kind of the basis, your 2 main characters. But there's some other things to consider as well in the basic building blocks of your romance novel. Number 1 is the setting. Now, a romance novel might not be as deeply rooted in world building as a genre like fantasy, but setting and sense of place is still really important. Small towns are popular settings for romance novels because it's relatively easy to create this unique small little world that's going to bring the characters together. Small, close-knit communities provide plenty of chances for random chance encounters, which is kind of what you need in order to get these 2 strangers to meet and then meet again and then eventually fall in love. Side characters are also really important. Family members can play a huge role in the plotline. They might have a role in the backstory, but they can also be really, really important in the present as well. They can add extra conflict, they can add extra dimensions to the characters' lives, and they can help flesh out the world. Friends and co-workers can similarly help flesh out the main characters' lives and add new dimensions to their character. Not to mention, if you want series potential, introducing siblings and friends can be key for setting up the next book in your series and introducing those characters now. So those are the basic building blocks of a romance novel. If you want to learn more, remember to check out the course linked in the description and subscribe for new writing, editing, and publishing videos every Tuesday and Friday. Until next time, bye!